Good morning, all of you. I am Dr. Pradeep Kumar, working as assistant professor in St. Peter's Engineering College, Autonomous, Hyderabad. Now, we are discussing about the Unit 1, water and its treatment. In the last class, we have discussed about the importance of the water and sources of the water. Today, we will discuss about the hardness of the water. Today's topic is hardness of the water. Before that, here what is mean by the water treatment or water technology? What is mean by the water treatment or water technology? The process of removing of all types of impurities present in the water and making it fit for the usage of domestic and industrial purposes is known as water treatment or water technology. Okay? The removing of all types of impurities present in the water. Okay? The removing of all types of impurities present in the water and making it fit for the domestic usage as well as industrial usage is known as water treatment or water technology. Okay? Before treat the water, we should aware about the nature of the impurities present in the water. Before treating the water, we should aware about the nature of the impurities present in the water. Which type of impurities are present and how much quantity of there. These things we should know before treating the water. Why? Then only we can apply the suitable or appropriate techniques on the water, isn't it? Once if you have an idea about the impurities present in the water, then we can apply the suitable and appropriate techniques to purify the water, isn't it? Generally, the water is two types. The water is two types. Hard water and soft water. The water is two types, hard water and soft water. What is the difference between the hard water and soft water? We will see. Okay? Hard water, the water which does not produce the lather or foam with the soap solution is known as hard water. Hard water which does not produce the lather, it cannot give the lather with the soap solution. So this type of water we can call as hard water. The water which can give the lather or foam immediately with the soap solution is known as soft water. It can give the lather immediately with the soap solution, while hard water does not give the lather or foam with the soap solution, because the hard water is containing dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. The hard water is containing dissolved salts of the calcium and magnesium. This is the reason for acting as an hard water. In case of soft water, such type of salts are not having. Okay, the soft water is not having such type of dissolved salts, so that's why it can act as soft water. So that's why it can give the lather or foam immediately while we are using the soap solution. Okay, instead of giving the lather in hard water, if we use the hard water with the soap solution, instead of giving the lather or foam, it can form a scum type precipitation. Scum type, or we can call as curd type white precipitation it can form. In this case, soft water, it cannot form this such type of scum or curd type material. Okay, now what are the differences? We'll check here. The water is two types, hard water and soft water. In the hard water, which does not give the lather or foam with the soap solution, is known as hard water, and which can give the lather or foam with the soap solution is known as soft water. And in the hard water, it contains the dissolved salts of the calcium and magnesium. In the soft water, such type of salts are absent. Okay, it does not having such type of salts in the soft water. Okay, coming to the hard water, it can precipitate scum type or curd type material. In the soft water, it cannot form such type of scum or curd type material. Okay, we'll check this one, why it's formed this type of scum or curd type of material. We'll check. Okay, why the hard water is forms such type of material, scum or curd? What is this material? When we used to bath the bore water or groundwater, we can easily observe that the white precipitation on our skin, isn't it? If we use the bore water or groundwater to bathing, after bathing we'll observe scum or curd type of material on our skin due to the presence of dissolved salts. Why these type of material will form? We'll check the reaction about the formation of the scum or curd type material. Check here, C17H35 COO Na. It can react with the calcium or it may be magnesium ions. It may be calcium or it may be magnesium ions which are present in the hard water, react with this soap and form it may be calcium or magnesium, and plus will get Na plus ions. Okay, this is the reaction related to do formation of about the scum or curd type material. This is the molecular formula, this is the chemical formula of the soap. Okay, it's a sodium, this name is sodium stearate. Sodium stearate, which is soluble in the water. It is soluble in the water. And this Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus is hardness causing hardness causing ions. Hardness causing ions. And this is the C17H35COO Na taken twice Ca, or it may be oblique magnesium. It is scum type material or curd type material. This is the reason to form the precipitation on the skin. Okay, this is the reason. This is the reason for the scum or curd type material, which is insoluble. This is insoluble material. Okay, this is the reaction related to the scum or curd type material formation. Okay, this is discussion about the types of the water. Types of the water. Two types of water is there: hard water and soft water. And in the hard water, it does not give the lather, but soft water, it can immediately give the lather. In the hard water, it is containing the dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. And the soft water, here there is no any dissolved salts. Okay, and in the hard water, it can form the scum or curd type material. And in the soft water, there is no any formation of such type of material. Okay, this is the reaction related to the formation of the scum or curd. Okay, this is the discussion about the hard water and soft water. And next, hardness of water. Next, hardness of water. Next, hardness of water. Hardness of the water. It's a property or characteristics of water which does not give the lather or foam with the soap solution. Okay, the hardness of water is a characteristic or property. It's a property or characteristics of a water which does not produce the lather or foam with the soap solution. Okay, this is the hardness of the water. Hardness, you just observe hard water and hardness of water. It is two different types of terminology is there: hard water and hardness of water. Hard water is nothing but the water which does not produce the lather or foam with the soap solution is known as hard water. Hardness of water is a property or characteristics of water which does not produce the lather or foam. It's a characteristic property of hard water. Okay, and what are the causes of water? Causes of water. What are the causes of water? Due to the presence of the dissolved salts of bicarbonates, chlorides and sulfates. Dissolved salts of bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, what are the causes of the water? Dissolved salts of bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, these are the reason for the hardness of the water. These are the reason for hardness of the water. Okay, And how to detect the hardness of the water? And how to detect the hardness of water? How to detect the hardness of the water? If someone give the water sample and asked to detect the hard water or it may be soft water, what we have to do? Okay, we can detect the hardness of the water by two methods. First method is, we have already discussed that if the water gives the lather or foam immediately with the soap solution, it is known as soft water. The water which does not produce the lather or foam with the soap solution is known as hard water. Okay? This is the one way to identify the hardness of the water. Okay? The water which can give the foam immediately, it can give the foam with the soap solution is known as soft water, and which does not produce the lather or it can give less amount of lather or foam, that water is known as called as hard water. Okay, this is the one method to identify the hardness of the water. And coming to the second method, if the water is containing the hardness, then if we add Eriochrome black tea indicator, okay, it's an indicator, Eriochrome black tea. Okay, if we add this EBT indicator to the hard water, then the solution color turns to wine red. Okay, if we add this EBT indicator to the hardness containing water, then it will gives wine red with the range of pH 9 to 10. Okay, this is the one method to identify the hardness of the water. If we add EBT indicator drops to the hardness containing water, then it will turn to wine red. In the pH range, we need to maintain the pH at 9 to 10. Okay, so if we gives the wine red color solution, then such water is having the hardness. We can confirm it is a hard water. Okay, yeah, there are the two methods we have to determine the hardness of the water. One method is by observing the lather, okay, or foam, and second method is by observing the color, that is wine red color. In this case, here we are using the EBT indicator, Eriochrome black tea indicator. Okay, yeah, next types of hardness. Next types of hardness. Here actually we have two types of hardness is there. First one is temporary hardness. Temporary hardness, and second one is permanent hardness. Okay, based on presence of dissolved salts in the water, the water is divided into two types. The first one is temporary hardness and second one is permanent hardness. Okay? Yeah, temporary hardness. What is the difference between the temporary hardness and permanent hardness? We'll check. Here, if the water is contains dissolved salts of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium is known as temporary hardness. What is meant by the temporary hardness? If the water is containing the dissolved salts of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. And coming to the permanent hardness, if the water contains dissolved salts of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, if the water contains dissolved salts of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium is known as permanent hardness. Okay, here by boiling we can remove the temporary hardness. By boiling the water we can easily remove the temporary hardness, but we cannot remove the permanent hardness by boiling. Here the temporary hardness can easily remove by the boiling, but here the permanent hardness cannot remove by the boiling of the water. If you check the difference between the temporary and permanent hardness, in the temporary hardness it contains the dissolved salts of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. In the permanent hardness it contains dissolved salts of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, and this temporary hardness we can easily remove by the boiling of the water, but permanent hardness we cannot remove by the boiling of the water. We will check the reactions related to the this removing of temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Now first, the temporary hardness. Okay. As we discussed, the temporary hardness we can remove easily by boiling the water, isn't it? By boiling the water we can easily remove the temporary hardness. Yeah. What is the reaction related to the boiling of the water here? If you observe here, the reaction related to the boiling of the water which contains the bicarbonate salts is known as temporary hardness. So on heating of the water or boiling of the water, what happens here? These bicarbonate salts can dissociate into carbonate, and it can dissociate like this. Okay, This is the temporary hardness causing salt, isn't it? This is calcium bicarbonate. It is a temporary hardness causing compound, isn't it? It is soluble in the water. Actually, it is soluble in the water. Upon heating the water, what happens here? It can dissociate into calcium carbonate, water and CO2. Okay. This calcium carbonate is a insoluble material. It is a precipitation material. Okay. So that's why here the water is there here. Okay. In this we have this calcium bicarbonate. Okay. Actually it is in the form of soluble. It is soluble with the water initially. On heating, what happens here? On heating, this material can decomposes or dissociate into calcium carbonate, which is a precipitation. Okay, we'll get here. It is a calcium CaCO3. So that after heating we can easily remove the calcium carbonate by filtering, isn't it? It is a insoluble material, so that's why we can easily filter. So in this way we can remove easily temporary hardness. Okay, in this way we can remove temporary hardness easily. And coming to the permanent hardness. Second one, permanent hardness. The permanent hardness is due to the presence of the dissolved salts of the chlorides and sulfates of the calcium and magnesium, isn't it? But here this permanent hardness we cannot remove as boiling. Okay, we cannot remove by boiling. We cannot remove the permanent hardness by boiling here. How to remove the permanent hardness? Okay, by here we have two methods to remove the permanent hardness. That is, the first one is, two methods are there. The first method is lime soda process. Lime soda process. And second method is zeolite process. First method is lime soda process and second method is zeolite process. Okay, I will check what is lime soda process and what is zeolite process. In the lime soda process, actually the permanent hardness causing material, that is calcium chloride, can react with the sodium carbonate. Here we are going to add the sodium carbonate to the permanent hardness water, isn't it? Then what will happen? This permanent hardness causing material, calcium chloride, that is the permanent hardness causing salt, can react with the sodium carbonate and it can form the calcium carbonate and NaCl, isn't it? It can form the calcium carbonate and NaCl. This is the reaction related to the lime soda process. In the lime soda process, what we will do, we will add sodium carbonate to the permanent hardness containing water. Then this calcium chloride salt can react with the sodium carbonate and form the calcium carbonate and NaCl, isn't it? In this way, here what is the reason for the permanent hardness here? Here this calcium chloride. This calcium chloride can easily remove as calcium carbonate. Okay, this is known as lime soda process, isn't it? This is lime soda process. And second process, that is zeolite process. Okay, this is lime soda process. This is lime soda process. And coming to the zeolite process, in the zeolite process, this permanent hardness causing material or salt can react with the sodium zeolite. Here we are using the sodium zeolite. Okay, here we are adding the sodium zeolite to the permanent hardness water. So it can react with the calcium sulfate which is present in the permanent hardness containing water. Then it forms calcium zeolite plus Na2SO4. It is a zeolite process. Okay, this is the zeolite process. In the zeolite process, here we are adding the sodium zeolite. Sodium zeolite to the permanent hardness water, so it can react with the calcium sulfate and it forms the calcium zeolite and Na2SO4. In this way, here we are removing the permanent hardness. Here we have two methods to remove the permanent hardness. First one is lime soda process, second one is zeolite process. In the lime soda process, here we are adding the sodium carbonate, isn't it? In the zeolite process, we are adding the sodium zeolite. Okay, actually hardness is two types: temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of the bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium salts, and permanent hardness is due to the presence of the chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, a temporary hardness we can remove easily by boiling, isn't it? But permanent hardness we cannot remove by the boiling of the water. For that we are using two methods, that is soda lime process and zeolite process. This is the information about the types of the hardness. Okay, this is the information about the types of the hardness. This is one of the important questions. Okay.